You are watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We got a bunch to talk about because playoffs. The playoffs are here, ladies and gentlemen. Well, guess technically not here because the play-in starts today, and I'm not going to call the play-in the playoffs like some teams and some people may be working this show, but playoffs are here. We got what? I got to sleep on Tuesday night. I got to sleep on Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday night. We are 4 sleeps away from the Knicks winning Game 1 in Quicken Loans Arena against Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. We got a bunch to talk about in today's show. We got kind of a Julius Randle injury update from Tom Thibodeau and Mike Breen. Yes, the king of bang, Mike Breen, gave us a little Julius Randle injury update. Talk about that. We'll preview a little bit about what Obi Toppin may have to do and play and how much he'll have to play this series against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then we got a mailbag coming up in today's show. Just wanted to interact with you guys and answer any questions or thoughts or comments that you had rolling into the playoff series. What a season it's been for the New York Knicks. 47 wins, 10 wins over the projected Las Vegas win total for the New York Knicks. We got a bunch to go through on today's video. I want to start it off with this, though. Let's get the comment section going, as we always do here on the show. Shout out your city for me down in the comment section. I want to know where all of the real ones are tuned in today from. We are live in the Chat Sports studios. We're in enemy territory. A lot of Dallas Mavericks fans here in the office, and they're telling me that there's no way that Adam Silver is going to strip them of the pick. But that is what should happen. I mean, it makes the most sense for Silver to strip the pick from the Mavs, give it to the Knicks, and then I think he should just rig the lottery for the Knicks to win the lottery. I think that would really show Mark Cuban. But shout out your city, my man OG in the chat. What's up, OG? I see a bunch of real ones in the chat. What up, everybody? Zombie Kitty is in Lake Ridge, Virginia. What up? CMF is in Colorado Springs. Southwest is in Brewster, New York. What up? Will is out in Brazil. I Am Jules is in New Jersey today. Teacher Planner is rocking from Jersey as well. Nick's Galaxy says Brooklyn, but I live in New Jersey. Love that. JJ is in Brooklyn as well. Justin Williams is tuning in from Allentown, Pennsylvania. What's going on, my man? I saw my man Erwin was in the chat. The Crazy Gamer Dude 04. Is that Gamer Dude? Did Gamer Dude change his name to the Crazy Gamer Dude? You're crazy, man. I like you, but you're crazy, man. What movie? What movie? Justin Williams is in Pennsylvania. Lee Wei Shea is in VA. Bodega's in Albany. And OG's in Orlando by way of Brooklyn. Shout out to you guys. Let's get right into it. Who do y'all got? Who do y'all got in the series? Who's going to win? Who's going to win? The Knicks? The Cavs? I want to hear from you guys. Rumple Foreskin is back in the chat. He was a subscriber we picked up over the summer. I'll never forget it. We did a Donovan Mitchell video one time here when all the trade bonanzas was going on, and I said the Cleveland Cavs did not have a package for Donovan Mitchell, and he told me they did. Then a couple days later, he was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, Rumple, good to see you. You were right, but you're wrong about this one. The Cavs, they're not beating the New York Knicks. The only basket, says Nylon. Eddie says, I got the Knicks. Kenneth is rolling with the Knicks. What up, Dutch B? CMF says Knicks in 5. I Am Jules says Knicks in 6. Lee Wei Shi says Knicks. Teacher Planner says, let's go Knicks. Love that. What up, Rolly? Rolly in the house with us tonight. What's up,
you know what? I want to come on. You'll see that I'm wearing my Heat sweatshirt. Big tilt tonight. Wanted to razz you guys up a little bit. But I also wanted to point out, I love when the Knicks are good. And in the playoffs, there is quite nothing like it, or nothing quite like it in the NBA. And I think that shows, 7 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday, day 1 of the NBA playoffs. Prime time Knicks, man. No one, you know what they say? The Knicks move the needle.
Knicks are needle movers, no doubt about it. And the NBA is better when the Knicks are good. I don't really even think that's a discussion. But I do think it is interesting that the Knicks are playing the Cleveland Cavaliers round one. Donovan Mitchell, we know the story.
Stories write themselves, man. Stories write themselves.
They do. They absolutely do. Lee Wei Shi says that's a loser T-shirt, Rolly. It absolutely is.
I know the Knicks fans, they hate the Miami Heat. They hate me when I wear the Miami Heat gear, or maybe they just hate me in general. But at least you can. I think they're going to be rooting for the Heat tonight because it's after Trae Young. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe you guys have buried the hatchet, but I feel like you guys want Trae Young to have as much, disaster as possible. So I feel like you guys will be with the Heat tonight. Can I count you guys in?
OG says go Heat. Anything to see ATL lose makes me feel good.
I feel like we can team up just for the day. Just for the day. Why not?
So wait, the winner of that game goes to what seed?
7. Play Boston.
Play Boston.
We would be on opposite sides of the bracket. I mean, the only way we'd be able to play is in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I'll tell you what, that ain't happening.
Yeah?
The odds of both of us beating, you guys would have to beat the Cavs and then beat the Bucks in all likelihood. The Heat would have to beat the Celtics, and then let's just say, in all likelihood, the Sixers. Just for all 4 of those things to happen, I don't think there's any way in hell. So you don't have to worry about us matching up with you guys. So just have fun, root against Trae Young.
I just tried to think about it. Who do I want to win, Heat or Hawks? And I don't care. I honestly don't care.
You have to have at least a slight lean. All I'm going to say is I know you hate Miami, but Trae Young.
I do hate Trae Young.
Trae Young's villain number 1.
I do hate Trae Young.
Number 1.
I guess I would roll with the Heat tonight over the Hawks, but no strong feelings about it. No strong feelings about it. One thing I do hate is that we've seen a lot of Knicks fans come out of the cellar now that they're in the playoffs. Oh, I've been a Knicks fan. And Stephen A. Smith is leading that charge right now. He put out a little video where he said, thing is, you guys can't tell me that you don't want to own me as Knicks fans. Like, that's actually exactly what we could do, Stephen A. Stephen A. at one point was a New York Knicks fan. He is no longer a Knicks fan anymore. He's worse than Max Kellerman. He really is. He's worse than Max Kellerman. But that's my TED Talk, and I appreciate you tuning in. Rumple Fortskin says so much pressure on the Hawks. No.
Come on, this button sucks. All right,
there we go.
Maybe because I guess if they lose, Trae could likely be traded. I don't see why there'd be any pressure on them, though, because even if they lose, they'll have another chance against the Raptors or Bulls to make the 8 seed.
Yeah. They did trade 3 first-round picks, though, for DeJounte Murray.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. I almost forgot about that.
A lot of people on this channel wanted DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray is a great player. Good defender. Can hit some shots, handle the rock.
He can't shoot for shit.
But I never understood why the Hawks would make that move, put 2 point guards together. I get Murray's really good defensively. Maybe they tried to hide Trae Young's biggest flaw, which is that he can't defend.
I remember reading stuff at the time saying that they wanted Trae Young to play more off ball, but that's not his game. He's not Steph Curry. He doesn't run off screens off the baseline and catch and shoot. So I don't know.
I did want to actually ask you a question here before we got into that Hawks little thing. Who's a worse fan? Stephen A. of the Knicks or Kellerman with the Giants?
Kellerman kind of rolls with the Giants. It's Kellerman with the Knicks or Stephen A. with the Knicks. Kellerman said he turned in his fandom and is now a Lakers fan, which is BS to say the least.
That?
Kellerman. He said he's no longer a Knicks fan. He said he's now a Lakers fan. This was a couple years ago. But I think it's Stephen A. I really, really do, because he's the loudest in the room. He gets the most eyeballs on him. He shit-talks the Knicks at every chance he gets. But when they make the playoffs, he wants to be a fan and be seen as the leading cheerleader. But he also, finds ways to talk shit during the mix of doing that, saying that the Knicks season is a failure if they don't beat Donovan Mitchell. Whereas I think that's funny, Rolly, because someone can say the Knicks season's a failure, But is the Cavs season a failure if they lose? They're the team that went all in for Donovan Mitchell. We didn't go all in. We just rode the boat of steady success. How can our season be a failure when we still have every draft pick we want to trade? All of our young players got better, and we had a damn good season. I don't get it. Like, people want to up talk the Cavs, but let's not forget, they had to trade for a superstar to get here.
I would also add that I don't think it could potentially even be a failing season for the Knicks, because even though you added Jalen Brunson in the offseason, I think the most people expected they would be a play-in team. Mm-hmm. And the fact they ended up winning 47 games and finished in the 5th slot in the Eastern Conference standings, even if they lose. Listen, I'll admit this, that if they potentially get swept by the Cavs, which I don't think it's possible, that would be quite the disappointing end to a great season. But I don't really think anything the Knicks can do in the playoffs would make this a lost season, because you did better than what people expected. Now, let's say this. You go in the offseason, you don't make changes to the roster if you lose in this first round, and you run it back and the same result happens. That's a lost season.
Yeah,
but we're obviously thinking 1 year in advance. We're more focused about what's happening Saturday.
And I think win or lose, this is the last time you'll probably see this group of team players play together. Because I do think the Knicks are going to make changes in the offseason. I do. And unless the Knicks get to the conference finals or they get to the finals, beat the Cavs, go 7 with the Bucks in round 2. But even if you lose to the Bucks, you still got to make changes, because that's who you're fighting in the East. This will probably be the last time we see this collection of talent play together all wearing the orange and blue. I am Jules says orange and blue skies. Stephen A. Knicks lose and season is fail. Also season. Yeah, exactly. Orange and blue skies, man. Orange and blue. He's such a coward. I hate him. I hate Stephen A. He's such a freaking front runner with this Knicks team. If you want the Knicks to beat the Cavs, hit that thumbs up icon for us. We got 116 people watching, 26 likes. Those are rookie numbers. Hit that thumbs up icon. Let's go. Leeway She says Stephen A. is a bandwagon fan. Absolutely, he is a bandwagon fan. Hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get up to 55 likes on the stream. Let's go. We're 30 likes away or so. If you have liked the video, type me in the comment section. We got a bunch to talk about on today's show. We got a Julius Randle injury update from Tom Thibodeau, as well from Mike Breen, the god of bang. Am I allowed to say that? Mike Breen's the bang god, or the god of bang?
Oh, well, bang god is definitely way worse than the god of bang.
I think it's all credit.
I actually think god of bang played all right, but when you said bang god, I think you officially lost it.
I mean, let's ask the peanut gallery. Is Tom out there? He's pretty level-headed. Did he already leave? What about Seeps? Seeps, come here. Is it out of pocket for me to say that Mike Breen is the bang god, or the god of bang?
The god of bang is fine.
I just don't want it to sound
bang
disrespectful, because I love Mike Breen. He's one of my idols in this business. He does what I would love to do one day, but I think it's just all love. The bang of God.
Are they saying it's a bad thing to call him?
No, I just want to double check. The god of bang, or the bang god.
God of bang is fine.
God of bang, bang god.
I think that one's out.
Okay. Bang of God, God bang, bang god. Which one are we rolling with?
God of bang.
God of bang. He is the god of bang. Is it fair to say Mike Breen is the bang of God, or God of bang?
God.
Or is he the bang god?
He's the bang god.
No.
What? I feel like that's an obvious
Y'all decide in the comments section. Is Mike Breen the bang god, or the god of bang?
Can we throw out Bang Lord?
Oh.
Bang Lord. Bang Lord is, everyone's saying bang god. Mikey Black says bang god. Knicks Galaxy says bang
so here's
god.
the thing, like,
S Teacher Planner is Tom, you're level-headed. I think
Bing Bong.
is Mike Breen the god of bang?
He's bang.
Or the bang god?
He is neither. He is bang.
I think he's just bang.
Okay. I like bang god.
Bang, oh, yeah.
So
like, does Mike Breen bang?
I thought
He has kids.
I thought you were attempting, Marsh, to be.
I'm trying
not-
to be respectful.
I thought you were trying to avoid the sexual thoughts, and that's why I said
am.
gotta bang.
Maybe.
But if you don't care,
What's the better name?
the better name's Bang God.
Bang God?
But if you were trying to avoid a certain thought process by the viewers, I thought gotta bang would be better.
By looking at the chat, I think they like Bang God.
Bang God is definitely the winner.
Rumple Foreskin says, I like the God of Bang phrase better. There's nothing worse, Rolly, and this is what hurts the most. When I'm watching a Knicks game on ESPN and he can't be biased and he hits you with a bang. You're dead. You're cooked.
If you get hit by a bang in the playoffs by Mike Breen,
It hurts.
it feels like you just got shot in the chest with a shotgun about 7 times.
Like, if I hear a Donovan Mitchell comes off the screen, uses Allen, pulls up, Mitchell 3, bang! I might fucking cry.
Imagine getting double banged.
Oh, my. If I got double banged by Breen, that would hurt. That would
Listen,
hurt.
This is just from my own experiences, but watching, I mean, the entire Heat Celtics Eastern Conference Finals was on ESPN last season. So when Jason Tatum was hitting threes left and right and Mike Breen was going bang and TD Garden's going crazy, I literally wanted to peel my own eyes out. I could not watch anymore.
If you get double banged in the playoffs.
Luckily, I've never got double banged in the playoffs, but I could just imagine that would be the worst feeling you could ever feel in the world.
Ridiculous. Glad you guys stuck with us for that little segment. I had to get it off my chest. If you want the Knicks to beat the Cavs, though, like this video. Let's go. We got 160 people watching. Let's get up to 65 likes. Let's go. We do have a little bit of a super chat menu on today's show. If we want to have a little party, a little pregame as we get ready for game 1, we can do that. Every super chat, we'll give you a shout out. And we're also doing a mailbag on today's show where we're going to answer questions from the audience. Every super chat that is related to the Knicks or Cavs, at some point, we will pop that up on the mailbag. We're not talking trades in today's show. We're not talking free agency. We're talking ball. We're talking hoops. Knicks, Cavs, all super chats get out on the mailbag, and we're going to put that up on the channel either on Wednesday or Thursday. $10, we'll do fireball shots. As always, our patented wheel spins. $20, we'll do some wheel spins. If we get a $50 super chat, Rolly and I will do a beer shot fun. And if we get to 150 as a squad, we'll do one. We'll do one as well. We do have a mailbag coming up, so I do want to reward the people for joining the show a little bit early right here. If you want your question to be answered on the show about the series, about the Knicks, about the Cavs, who I got, what am I looking for, anything, the key to get on the show is you got to use hashtag Knicks in your comment right now. So I'm calling on all the real ones that I see in the chat right now, like Mikey and Steven and Anthony and S Teacher Planner. I am Jules, Ayo, Hannah, Rumple Foreskin. Ask a question about the series for me down in the comment section. Just remember, use hashtag Knicks somewhere in that comment. That way our software can pull that and we can pop it up on screen. Oscar Batista used a hashtag Knicks, but he didn't ask a question. So, Oscar, you got to include a question in there. Zebra says Knicks, hashtag Knicks. Hey, Marsh, how long are you streaming tonight? An hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. Rolly's got to be somewhere at 8:30. So, hey, as long as you guys want to party, we'll party. So there's that. Justin Williams says, what time is the game? The game is Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, right? Yeah, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. I am Jules. We appreciate you getting your question in. The Only Basket getting a question in as well. Steven Arts getting a question in. Your boy Connor getting a question in as well. If you haven't yet, get your question in. We'd love to chop it up with you guys one-on-one, and we can pop those questions up on screen. Will, thanks for getting a question in as well. Hannah got a question. S Teacher Planner, I love that question. You just got to include hashtag Knicks in there somehow. Just like, you see how everyone else is putting hashtag Knicks? It's just that way our software can go ahead and pull that. What up, Sherwin? We can do this right now. What up, Sherwin? So if you have a question, hashtag Knicks, or you can go ahead and super chat. As we did get our first super chat of the day, Kamani Lewis. Hope I'm saying that correct. I apologize if not. What up, Kamani? Hashtag Knicks. Are you a real Knicks fan? And Knicks 4-2. Knicks in 6. Yes, I am a real Knicks fan. I feel like if you watched any of our watch parties this year, all those questions have been answered. But yes, I am a New York Knicks fan. I was born on Long Island, raised in Houston, Texas, though. But my dad is a New Yorker, born and raised of 35 years. And there wasn't a team that I could root for growing up in my house except for the Knicks, the Giants, and the Yankees. Those were the only teams I was allowed to root for. My dad is a diehard Knicks fan, so it kind of just rubbed off. That sounds weird onto me. But he passed that down through his genetics. It is in me. I bleed orange and blue, as you guys would say. I say orange, but yes, I bleed orange and blue. I love the New York Knicks. I am an actual Knicks fan. And if the Knicks win in 6, I will be a very, very happy person, Kamani Lewis. So, yes, Knicks in 6 is something I can absolutely get down with. Rumple Foreskin coming in with a $10 super chat. What up, Rump? What a name as well. Cheers. Going to be a long week until Saturday. I think Rolly just said it. It is still a while away. It sounds like it's close, but it's not. Like, I have to go to bed 4 more times. I have to sleep 4 more times until I see Knicks playoff basketball.
I mean, it kind of, if you're a hoop head like us, it kind of gets cut in half because of the play-ins.
Yeah.
And so the only day without basketball until Saturday is, I believe, Thursday, or maybe they play Thursday. I'm not actually too confident on that answer. I wanted to point out this, though. Are the Cavs really minus 200 on the series?
I think they are.
That feels like a lot. I think this is much more of a pick'em than Vegas is.
I'm about to go
on.
lay some cheddar on this.
Dude, listen, I'm not going to give my series prediction right now. Maybe I'll do it later on. But I will say I don't think this is a minus 200. I think that's like a suggestion of Cavs in 6.
Cavs are minus 210. Knicks are plus 175.
That seems off to me, man. Feels like it should be. Now, if the Cavs were minus 140, Knicks plus 120.
I just put 50 on it.
Oh, okay.
I just put 50 on the Knicks to win the series.
March.
50 on the Knicks to win the series plus 175.
Now,
bet 50, win 87.
Now, we are going to get into a Julius Randle update soon.
Yes.
But do you think Vegas is taking into account Julius Randle potentially missing a game or being hobbled during the series? That's the only explanation I could possibly have.
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks need Randle to win this series. If Randle doesn't play, I don't think they can win because I don't think Obi versus Mobley is a good matchup for the Knicks.
If Randle's out for the entire series, I would be confident in saying I think the Cavs win in 5. I mean, when you're missing your second best player who averages 25 and 10 a game, I mean, that's a big loss.
It is. It's a big loss. Last time the Knicks played the Cavs, I know it was the regular season. They beat them without Randle in Cleveland. Jared Allen did not play, and neither did Isaac Okoro. But I think the Knicks could make it competitive without Randle, maybe losing 6. But if you want to advance, you need Randle not only to be healthy, but good. And the reason I think that Randle is so key is because, yes, we know he's a bruiser. Yes, we know he can get downhill, but he does thrive off making jump shots. And Evan Mobley is such a good rim protector.
Looks like he's going to be the defensive player of the year.
He's getting DPOY votes. If he's guarding Randle, that means he's out on the perimeter, which opens more driving lanes for an RJ, for a Quickly, for a Brunson. You still got Jared Allen down there, but So he takes one step this way, you could throw a lob to Robinson. Now, both of them are in the paint. It'd give you some problems. The reason I don't think Obi, it's an interesting matchup, Obi versus Mobley, because Obi plays like a small forward. Mobley would be on the perimeter.
To see if Obi had to start in place of Julius Randle, I'm curious to see if the Cavs would go unconventional and place Jarrett Allen on him and let Mobley guard either Mitchell Robinson or Hartenstein in the paint. Because, listen, Jarrett Allen, he's no slack of a rim protector either. He's very good at defending the rim. But I think Mobley is better. He's longer arms. So I would be curious to see if Obi started. Knowing Obi Toppin is mostly just a 3-and-D guy right now, like he's not going to take you off the dribble often. So I wonder if they would stick Allen on him and then keep Mobley inside the paint. Because they have 2 6, 7, 11 and plus guys. And that's what makes this Cavs team so interesting, is you've got the 2 bigs inside, which I would argue is the 2 best, or it's the best defensive front court in the NBA when you combine Allen and Mobley. But you've also got one of the worst defensive backcourts in the league with Donovan Mitchell and Garland. So the 2 back-end anchors really make up for the 2 guards. And then if Okoro's healthy, he's a decent defender as well. So it will be interesting to see how the matchups play out during this series. I think it's a fascinating matchup. The 2 teams match up pretty evenly. I am really intrigued.
It's interesting. It is really a fascinating matchup. And from Foreskin, I owe you a shot of Fireball, my man. We appreciate that. He said, take this $10 and bet your house on the Cavs minus 200. Well, I just put 50 on the Knicks to win the series. So.
You did the complete opposite.
I did the opposite. I think it's good value bet, though. 50 to win 87.
I would agree with that.
The value play here is Knicks.
If you were to take one bet on a series winner, even if you believe the Cavs will win, 175 on the Knicks is just insanely good value. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to sprinkle it. Oh, I also want to say, is it the line still 6.5 on Saturday?
Let me double check.
Because that is, I think, my favorite line from the first week, game 1 of the playoffs. Knicks plus 6.5. You can book that. They will make this a close game. No, even if Randle doesn't play, 6.5.
5.5. It's gone down.
Oh no,
it's going
down.
This
isn't good. Everybody's pounding the Knicks. I don't like this. This is not good.
Yeah, so it went down from 6.5 to 5.5.
That's not good. People are on the Knicks. You never want to be it might work out, but trust me, you never want to be the team everybody bets on. Makes you nervous.
I agree. Rolly, push this one across real quick.
All right. What was your favorite memory from this season?
It's a good question. I like this one.
Obviously, we're just talking regular season as of now.
Yes, just regular season so far. What was your favorite memory from the season? I have a bunch, and I have some of them listed out in my head. Rolly, you probably watched 20, 25 games for the Knicks this year.
That's an accurate number.
Do you have one that comes to mind? Maybe a Julius Randle game winner against the Miami Heat in Miami? The double bang from Mike Breen?
That actually doesn't come to mind. Thank you for asking. I think my favorite memory is I think it was the game they blew out the Pacers pretty recently. They just went on this avalanche. They had a couple cool dunks.
Was that the one where they all scored 30 and Brunson and Randle didn't play?
Was it?
Quickly had 30, Grimes had 30, Obi had 30.
Actually, if we're talking pure basketball, I think it's that game. But if we're talking Knicks Now streams, it is clearly the Peter Wynn and...
Oh, wow. Yeah, Peter and Pedro Marrero battle.
Those two going back and forth was my favorite Knicks Now memory of the season. You're talking just hoops, though. I don't know. I don't think I personally had more fun watching the Knicks than that.
Some of the ones that come to mind are obviously the Randle game winner. That was a lot of fun. The double overtime win over the Boston Celtics was a lot of fun. without Jalen Brunson. Emmanuel quickly went nuts. Games like, honestly, just looking back at some of these. The game where you beat the Brooklyn Nets in January, February, March by 24 points, and Josh Hart hit that one shot and said, "This is our effing city." That was a cool moment. When you beat Boston by 15 in February, that was a lot of fun. Beating the Philadelphia 76ers back in February was a lot of fun as well. What are some other good ones? The RJ Barrett 44-point game was a lot of fun. Even though the Knicks lost that game where Julius Randle, I think, had like 50-something. Did he get to 60? I don't remember. But
Wait, Randall?
Yeah.
I know. His high, I think Kamani Lewis said it, scoring 52.
52? That seems low.
I don't think he ever, because when he hit 52, that was his highest ever. And I don't
57.
think he,
57 against Minnesota, even though they lost. I
see a lot of people saying the game winner against Miami was their favorite.
Yeah, that one was fun. That was fun. Joey the Hartenstein block to win the game. That one was a lot of fun.
I remember that.
Against Cleveland.
Wait, was it? Didn't he have another win? Was it against Cleveland? I feel like I produced that because I remember Hartenstein getting a piece at the end.
What's that? Yeah, he blocked Mitchell. And then Mitchell got hurt.
Oh, maybe.
Hurt.
Did I do that game? I don't remember. I thought I remembered that moment, though.
That was... I think you did. I
don't really remember doing a Cavs game, but I remember Hartenstein blocking someone for the game. No, I did. All right, it was against the Cavs. Yeah, I'm seeing the visual in my head right now.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are going, Francisco says, my favorite moment will be them holding up the chip. They win the chip, and I might cry, to be honest with you. I might cry. Rumpel Forskin says, I do like watching Jalen come into the Knicks and watching the Mavs get eliminated. It's been a wild ride. Yes, it has. BX for Life says, Julius sticking the dagger in the Miami Heat. Sherwin says, Allen is better at protecting the rim than Mobley. Allen blocks went down because players don't try him. Same as Mitch. Well, Mobley's probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Sherwin is the go against the grain guy. I could say the sky is blue. He'd tell me somehow it was yellow, just because he loves to give me a little bit of fits, and I like that out of Sherwin. Mikey says my favorite moment was I stumbled on this channel. I love that. Man, we've grown like crazy. We went from 10,000 subs before the channel, and we're right on the cusp of getting to 20,000 subs.
I would just like to push back on Sherwin here. Obviously, blocks is not the most important stat, but Evan Mobley does averages 0.3 more blocks than Allen does a game. And I would say because of how long his arms are, I mean, he contests and alters way more shots than Jared Allen. Listen, Jared Allen's a good rim protector. I think Evan Mobley will end up being, I think, the best defensive rim protector for the next 5-6 years in the NBA.
He's a good player. That's why I think that this matchup's so weird, because, like, the Knicks don't really have a power forward that hangs out in the paint.
What draft did he go in? He went 3, I think, right?
This is his second year. Look, Emmanuel quickly was so good. So many games this year. The one against Boston, 38 points. He had 40 against Houston back in March as well. That was a lot of fun. There's been a lot of standout moments. One of my favorite moments, which it happened in the first game of the year, and it doesn't really matter anymore. What about the Cam Reddish 3 that sends it to overtime against the Memphis Grizzlies?
He went nuclear
at the buzzer. He went wild in that season opener. But, he's not on the team anymore. What about trading for Josh Hart? What about Josh Hart having that 28-point game when he first got to the New York Knicks? A lot of memorable plays from this season. No doubt about it.
Looking back on it, I can't believe Jalen Green was drafted ahead of Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually do remember, not to pat my own back here, I was saying that I would take Evan Mobley over Jalen Green 10 times out of 10, but I'm surprised about that.
Yeah, I haven't been sold on the players coming out of the G League so far yet. That's not something.
This will be a big litmus test this season because you got two prospects, not even in the G League, not even overseas, not even in college. The Thompson brothers, Osser and Amen, they're both going to be top 10 picks. This is going to be a big-time litmus test because we've only seen success from college and overseas. So these two played in a different circuit in the United States. I'll be very intrigued to see how these two, the Thompson twins, keep your eyes on them when it comes to the NBA. Big-time test.
Yeah. Both. This draft is very, very interesting. Did you say Scoot as well?
I didn't say Scoot. I was just saying these are the first two that haven't done or doing something different, I should say. Like, they're in overtime
you're talking about
elite.
the overtime elite, yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sold on Scoot either. I like him, athletic. His three-point shot scares me. It does.
Every draft prospect is always interesting. Eric says Brandon Ingram to the Knicks is a lot better. I like Ingram, but has he played over 55 games in a season yet? That's something I'm concerned about. We can get to this Julius Randle update here on the channel. Let's do that. Let's get to the Randle injury update, and then we'll do a mailbag after that. So let's do it. Let's talk about Julius Randle and if he's going to play Game 1. You are watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, we're talking about Julius Randle, the Knicks versus the Cavs, and can the Knicks get it done with Obi Toppin if Julius Randle has to miss any time? Some good news today, though. Julius was a limited participant at practice on Tuesday. Tom Thibodeau was really selective about the words he used when talking about Randle, but this is what Ian Begley of SNY had to say. He said, Tom Thibodeau said Julius Randle has made good, steady progress of late. Randle sprained his left ankle last month. Thibodeau wouldn't say if Randle will be ready for Game 1 on Saturday, but based on what Thibodeau said, it sounds like Randle is trending in the right direction. And of course, Tom Thibodeau is going to say stuff like he's getting better, he's getting healthier, he's trending in the right direction. But I do think it is interesting that Thibodeau wouldn't say if Randle will be ready for Game 1. Is that because he doesn't know if he'll be ready for Game 1? Is that because he wants to use it as a competitive advantage when talking about the Cavs and the New York Knicks? So definitely something to monitor with this. Then I thought what Fred Katz of The Athletic said was pretty important as well. He said Julius Randle did some of practice today. That's why we called him a limited participant. He said no contact. Thibodeau said he's doing some running, shooting, scripting, that sort of thing. I don't know what scripting is in this type of sense. I would take it under the estimation that means some sort of walkthrough against the Cleveland Cavaliers, walking through some sets on defense, walking through some sets on offense, some inbounds plays as well. But the word scripting is very, very interesting as well. And then Mike Breen, as I would like to call him, the Bang God. Yes, want to use the correct term there. The Bang God, Mike Breen, one of my idols, calls games for MSG as well as ESPN. I think he may have let a little bit slip on his podcast. He said, as for Randle, he's going to play in the series. I don't think the Knicks are too happy about him saying that. He said, whether or not he's ready for Game 1, that's to be determined. He's done nothing but therapy on the ankle. So there's a good chance he's going to play, if not Game 1, at least very early in this series. So he pretty much tells you that he may not play Game 1. And Randle missing Game 1 would suck for so many reasons for the New York Knicks. Obviously, number one, you could argue he's the best player on this team. I would roll with Jalen Brunson, but I can concede that Randle is the second most important player on this team, and the Knicks would not be here where they are right now, the 5th seed with 47 wins without Julius Randle in a comeback season that I believe should have some All-NBA considerations. having Randle miss any games this series would be huge for the Knicks in the sense of it would not be good news. It would be big for the Cavs. It would, swing, I think, a lot of votes in that way. If you don't play game one, I don't think you're playing game two either, because it's probably just one game, maybe 2 days in between. Maybe you do play game two, but if you don't play game one, I think the Knicks might be in a little bit of trouble because you don't want to go back to MSG potentially down 0-2. I want to poll the audience right now. How many of you guys are ankle specialists? Maybe you are. Maybe you're an ankle doctor. Let me know. Will Julius Randle play game one? Will he be out there Saturday? Knicks, Cavs. What do you think? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I want to hear from all of you down in the comment section. I also want to let you know if and when we get a Julius Randle update, whether he's scheduled to play, whether he's going to miss some time. Hopefully he misses no time, and we get that update. He's going to be ready to rock and roll come game one. We will make a video here on the channel. We put out videos every day on the latest Knicks news and rumors. When we get an update, we'll make a video. Remember, we're also going live for every single game, watch party style, for the NBA playoffs for the Knicks. We did over 60 games during the regular season. I can't wait to do the playoff games. Let's go Knicks. The reason I think Randle playing in game one or game two, at least getting his feet wet before you get back to Madison Square Garden, is the series has to be 1-1 going back to MSG. Because if let's say Julius Randle doesn't play game one, he doesn't play game two, and the worst case scenario happens that you go back to MSG down 0-2, Cavs on top 2-0. And then Randle plays game three, then you've played 2 games without him. Then he's been out of the lineup for 3 weeks. Then the rust will start to set in, and the pressure will start to mount. The crowd at MSG will be antsy. They will be anxious. They will be nervous. And if Randle messes up early on, the boo birds will ensue. That is why coming back to Madison Square Garden, 1-1 after game one and game two in Cleveland is so important. You don't want Randle's first game back in the series to be pretty much a must-win basketball game. At the end of the day, the timing of all of this is absolutely brutal. You could not have drawn it up worse for the New York Knicks. Randle was ascending. He was getting out of that funk with the teammates that he had. And then he has a rolled ankle. And now it sounds like he may not even play game one. No official ruling, but from reading the tea leaves, if you're not even taking on contact on Tuesday, how are you going to play Saturday? Maybe he goes to the LeBron James foot doctor, whatever weird term LeBron James used, and he gets fixed, but the timing of this has been absolutely brutal. We'll talk more about Randle, and we'll talk about Obi Toppin coming up here in a second, but I got to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, and that is Fume. Go to tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports for 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. Are you tired of struggling with bad habits? Because cold turkey might be great for sandwiches, but there's a better way to break free from those pesky habits, and it doesn't involve weird mind voodoo or other bizarre tactics. Introducing our sponsor, Fume, an innovative award-nominated device that helps you kick bad habits to the curb by focusing on the good parts. Scan the QR code on screen to learn more. Fume is all about embracing the natural. It's non-electronic, and instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Best of all, it's free of harmful chemicals and packed with delicious all-natural flavors. The adjustable airflow dial and movable parts and magnets make it perfect for fidgeting, which can help alleviate stress and anxiety while you break your habit. I wasn't sure what to expect at first, but I was pleasantly surprised by the taste, feel, and look of Fume. Start your journey towards a healthier lifestyle with the Journey Pack from Fume. Visit tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports for 10% off when you purchase the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com/chatsports. And don't forget to use code chatsports for 10% off your order. Excuse me. The link is down in the comments and description, or you can scan the QR code right here to unlock the offer. One more time, tryfume.com/chatsports. And remember, use the code chatsports for 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That link is clickable in the comments and description of today's video. When you look at what Randle did for the New York Knicks this season, he was really the guy that was driving the boat. Whether you want to say it was him or Brunson, they both did their fair share. And they're both MVPs of this team. You can call them co-captains, you can call them captains. But when you average 25, 10, and 4, and you shoot 46% from the deck and 34% from three, that is really good makeup for all of the late game turnovers and the inefficient closing the games Randle's has had. But Randle's game is so much dependent on, I would say, comfortability and stringing together good game after good game. And I'm worried about rust right now for Julius Randle. He hasn't played in the month of April. The game's going to be April 15th. He's going to go 15 days pretty much between the last time he touched a basketball in a meaningful game. I'm worried about rust. And the reason I'm worried about rust, and I'm worried about this injury, and I'm worried about if Randle's only going to be 70, 75, 80, 85, 95% is because what makes Randle great is so dependent on that ankle. What makes Randle great? Tough shot making ability. To get to your spots on the court, you have to have good push-off. You have to have balance. You have to have your center of gravity. And with a bum ankle, that makes it tough. What also makes Randle great? That lightning quick first step. He gets in that triple threat. He does that jab step that I freaking hate. But he lulls the defense to sleep, and he beats them to the cup with a lightning first step. He's a beast on the glass. You can't jump your highest, and you can't box out your best when you got one ankle. Also, his ability to absorb contact is something that makes him great. He's able to get to the cup, take a little bump in the shoulder, finish with the left hand, take a jab step back, and push off a little bit and absorb that contact. It's harder to do that with just one bad ankle or one good ankle and the good footwork. All the moves that he has. That's so much harder to do when your balance isn't where you want him to be. So this ankle injury really affects Randle. And I wrap all that to say the Knicks need Julius Randle to win. If you watch the show, you know I'm not the biggest fan of Julius Randle. But I think I'm a pretty smart guy when it comes to the Knicks. Some say I know ball. I'm not going to say that about myself, but I do know ball. Randle is key to the Knicks. And the Knicks, they need Randle to win. I like Obi, and we'll talk about Obi in a second. But it is going to be hard to string together 4 wins in 2 weeks against the Cleveland Cavaliers without Julius Randle, who's probably going to be an all-NBA player this year. So I want to ask this question before we shift over to Obi Toppin. What is your confidence in the Knicks without Julius Randle? What is it? Scale it from 1 to 100. 1 being, I'm not confident at all. If Randle doesn't play, we're getting swept and we're going to have to make some changes in the offseason. 100 being, you're not worried, you're sitting back, you're smoking that Cavs pack, and the Knicks are going to win in 4 without Randle. Scale it from 1 to 10. Your confidence in the Knicks without Julius Randle. The number one question you have to be asking yourself at this point is, can Obi Toppin get the job done without Julius Randle? Because if Randle doesn't start or play, Obi is going to be forced to play. And I thought at one point, if Randle could come back healthy, that Obi might be on the outside looking in of this playoff rotation. But what he's been able to do since Randle has gone out has kind of eliminated those thoughts. When you look at what Obi has done in the 5 games he has started this year, he's averaging 21.8 points per game, 3.2 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and he has been so efficient. 58% from the deck, 44% from 3, and he's doing that on good volume as well. He's attempted 36 threes in those 5 games, so almost 7+ threes per night, and he's making almost 3+ threes in those games. It's a lot of volume there. And you need Obi to continue to make shots from downtown, because when you look at the numbers, the Knicks are 15-7 this season when Obi Toppin makes 2+ threes in a game this year. They're also 9-3 when Obi makes 3+ threes. So when Obi makes his shots, the Knicks are one of the best teams in the National Basketball Association. And if he is going to play and be your starter, the reason that it is so critical that he makes shots is because of that Mobley versus Obi matchup. If Obi is hitting his shots, that's going to pull out Evan Mobley of the paint. He has to be more of a perimeter defender against a guy like Obi Toppin. Mobley has to be less worried about rebound, and he has to be more worried about Obi going the other way. On the flip side, Obi having to guard Mobley and keep Mobley off the glass is something I am absolutely concerned about. I think it's a very interesting matchup. Mobley, arguably the defensive player of the year, but guarding a guy like Obi isn't really Mobley's strength. I would say from the free throw line and down in the paint is where Mobley excels, where Obi is pretty much a guy that just jacks threes and gets fast break opportunities. So my eyes will be glued to that matchup, and I think that could be really the X factor matchup for this series. Let's get the good vibes going, though, around Obi Toppin, because there ain't no stopping Obi Toppin. Am I going to be mad at him at some point? Yes, because he's going to miss a rebound. He's going to leak out when he's not supposed to. He's going to get beat on a backdoor cut. But I believe in him, and I'm believing in him because I have to believe in him. Show him some one. Show him some love. Type those ones, his jersey number, down in the comments section. I want to see the whole comments littered with one. Let's have our guys back. Type his jersey number 1 for Obi Toppin. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's video. Like I said, if we get another Julius Randle update, we'll do a video here on the channel. If you made it this far in the show, show some love. Hit that thumbs up icon. Obi's key. Obi is key. Is he going to average 28 against the Cavs? No. Can he average 15? Can he shoot 40% from 3? Can he be decent on the boards? That's going to be the difference maker. The fact that the Knicks are 15-7 when Obi makes 2+ threes and 9-3 when he makes 3+, I think is a very telling stat. Obviously, your team makes threes, you're going to win more ball games than not. But really, I really think for him and Quentin Grimes, if those two guys hit threes, you're just a different offense because you have other guys. Obi can score so quick. He doesn't need looks. He can just fill it up.
Listen, when we were talking pre-show here, and I saw the statistics that you were laying out when it came to Obi Toppin's threes, I guess I shouldn't be so shocked because when you have a role player like Obi Toppin who plays 15 minutes a game, if he makes 3 threes, obviously that's going to be a massive boost to your offense. But 9-3 when he makes 3, that was a shocking number to me. Listen, do I expect that to happen a lot in the playoffs? Probably not, because as you guys know, the sets tighten, more emphasis on possession
Role
to possession.
players struggle on the road.
Listen, that is the biggest thing people realize when it comes to the playoffs is that the role players, their numbers. So I'm not going to say some people are role players, some are not. But like when you talk about Quentin Grimes, quickly he's like, I think, a step above, maybe he's a really, really good role player.
He's a role player on this team, though.
But those numbers always come down in the playoffs because people pay more attention. They scout you more. Listen, you're not just playing the Cavs coming off a game 2 nights ago. They have set a week away to see your tendencies, what you're good at, what you're bad at.
They're watching film.
They're going to exploit your weaknesses. And that's why the playoffs, analysts always say, real hoopers show up in the playoffs. Can you elevate your abilities in numbers and worth in the playoffs? Some people downgrade, and some people go up. Jalen Brunson, luckily, last year, we saw that he is someone who elevates. He went up. Randle, 2 years ago, he went down. So that is something to keep your eye on because you're going to need role players to help you win. But you can't expect Quickly and Grimes to hit their season averages every game because it will come down.
Yeah. One thing I don't want to say I'm nervous about with Jalen Brunson is he's never gone into a playoff series where the other team's number 1 and only goal is to stop him. Sure, that happened for Game 2 and Game 3 against the Jazz, but it's a little bit different when you're filling in compared to being him.
Yeah.
Am I worried about Brunson? No. I think he's going to have a great series. I think he's going to lead us to victory. I think he's going to prove that he's you could argue he's the best player in this series because usually that's what happens in the playoffs. Whoever has the best player wins usually. And I think he's got a chance to show that. I really do. I don't know, we got to deal with freaking Donovan Mitchell, who was amazing this year and a guy that I think is going to be all NBA. So it'll be interesting.
I will add this. I did just go on this tangent about quickly Grimes, Obi, potentially decreasing their impact because it is the playoffs, role player struggles. But on the flip side, you actually have the advantage here if you're the Knicks when it comes to the role players, when it comes to the bench. The Cavs bench stinks. Isaac Okoro, he's banged up. Who knows what his health status is going to be? But they got solid four. Garland, Mobley, Mitchell, Allen. But then that fifth, sixth guy, it's rough, whether it be Karis LeVert, Isaac Okoro, Dean Wade. Their bench is bad. I think that's where the Knicks have the clear advantage in the series. So if you can get the big-time minutes out of Obi, quickly, Grimes, that will help elevate the Knicks past the Cavs.
Yeah, I think, and I 100% agree, the Knicks are the much deeper team. I think the Knicks have one of the best benches in the NBA with Quickly and Hartenstein, who I think is one of the best backup bigs out there. They got to hit their shots. Whatever team hits their shots is going to win this series because neither team is a good three-point shooting team. The Knicks shoot a lot of threes. That doesn't make them a good shooting team. Can we get a Quickly game, though? Can we have a game where Quickly pops for 30 and we win the game because of Quickly? Can we win a game because of Jalen Brunson? Can we win a game because of Randle, game 5? And then can you get a game from Grimes, a Hart game, an Obi game, an RJ game?
Listen,
there's so many storylines in this series. That's
one
what
of
makes
those
it so
games is look
fascinating.
back to last postseason in the 2-3 matchup between the Bucks and Celtics, that pivotal game 7. You know who won that game for the Boston Celtics to go to the Eastern Conference Finals?
That white
Grant
guy?
fucking Williams.
Yeah.
He went nuts. He had like 4 threes. You just need one of your guys to have a big-time game in a big-time moment, and then that will win you the series.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. If Quickly plays well, I think you win because I think that gives you the edge way above the Cavs in the bench. The Cavs don't have anyone off the bench that could do what Quickly can do. Rubio's a fine player. He ain't no Quickly.
But he's only played in, I believe, like 33 games. Let's see here.
Who is their main bench? Like you said, Rubio hasn't played that much.
33 games for Rubio.
This looks kind of cool with us on there as well as him. Not gonna lie, I kind of like it.
His head, if you could just make his head a little smaller.
Yeah. Okoro, he's been hurt. He's really a defensive guy. They're depending on 4 players. Really, 2 scorers at that. That's what I think is different. They're not expecting Mobley to give you 30. They're not expecting Allen to get you 30. The Knicks can get 30 from Quickly. They can get 30 from Brunson. They can get 30 from RJ. While it may be inefficient, they can get 30 from Randle. They can get 30 from Obi. They can get 30 from Grimes. They can get 30 from a couple of players. Whereas I don't think this is going to be the key matchup.
This is the X factor for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
It's going to be him versus RJ. Who plays better? Is it going to be RJ Barrett? Is it going to be Karis LeVert? Seeing him shoot that high from 3 for the season is kind of wild to me because when he played against the Knicks, I felt like he was just brick city. But if he's not your starter and he's your bench guy, it's going to be, and he's started I would say a good number of games.
Okoro, I believe, was their normal starter, but LeVert might have started late down the stretch here.
LeVert started 30 games. I bet Okoro started 50.
Yeah.
Okoro started 46.
So split who starts. Okoro is more of a defensive guy. Him shooting 36% from 3 is a little wild to me. I'm sure that's on a very low volume.
Not even a 3 made per night, 2.3 attempts.
He's a corner guy. He's like a PJ Tucker 3-point shooter. He'll shoot from the corner, he'll make one, and that's about all you're going to get. So when you look between LeVert and Okoro, we know they're core 4 for Cleveland. One of those 2 guys is going to have to be their 5th scorer. But when you look at the Knicks, Quickly's their 4th guy. His numbers are significantly better than theirs. X Factor, Josh Hart, 10 a game with the Knicks on incredible efficiency. Now, I would expect that to come down heavily in the playoffs. Like, I don't think you could count on Josh Hart shooting 52% from 3 in the playoffs. But when it comes to either Josh Hart, quickly, we just showed you his stats, Obi's stats on the year, can one of these guys step up? Quentin Grimes, I think, goes in this category as well. Wow, he jumped up his scoring average so much with the last couple weeks of the season.
Yeah, he was. I'm going to pull it up.
I think he was mid-10s, and for him to get a 10-game stretch to jump up to a full point that late in the year, that's an incredible scoring output.
Through the last 9 games of the year, Quentin Grimes averaged 22 points per night on 54% from the field and 47 from 3 on 10 threes a night. That's so fucking good.
RJ's the 3rd leading scorer on this team, but he's going to actually have to be efficient in the playoffs. Yeah. Efficiency matters in the playoffs. You can get away with low and efficient nights in the regular season because there's not a lot of defense and most of the shots are open. But when it comes to the playoffs, when everything is more contested, everything's more tightened up, there's not as much spacing.
He's got to hit his threes.
He's got to hit his threes, and that's what concerns me. And that's what's going to bring me to this question I want to ask the audience. Who's the X factor? I mean, you can name one for the Knicks. You can name one for the Cavs. Who do you have to look out for the Cavs? Who do you think the Knicks X factor will be? Because there is going to have to be someone for the Knicks that steps up if the Knicks want to win this series.
I think for the Knicks, when you look at the Cavs X factors, you have to take either Mitchell or Garland out. You can't let them both be great. If they are both great, you're in trouble. Like if Garland's averaging 25 and Mitchell's averaging 32, you might be cooked. You have to slow one of them down. I'll give my answer here in a second. Johnson U says RJ needs to step up. Mikey says JB for the Knicks and Mitchell for the Cavs. Eric says Grimes and Quick is better than Okoro. Yeah, I agree with that. Ronald says Quentin Grimes will be the X factor. Eric says no, RJ has to.
Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, which means I think you mean he has to elevate his game, which I don't think there has been any evidence of that being a potential.
Yeah. Mikey says IQ could actually be the key. Fabian Williams says RJ. I could answer this question 10 different ways, to be honest with you.
I mean, before I'll let you go in on this question, I think for the Knicks, the X factor is Quentin Grimes. If he can give you just half of what he gave you the last 2 weeks of the regular season, he will be a massive boost to this team. 15 a game on that efficiency with that defense on Donovan Mitchell. Now, that is one thing that concerns me.
Yeah,
he's the primary defender on Mitchell. That means he's going to get worn down more on the defensive side. Is he going to have the legs there on offense late in the game? That concerns me. When you look at Cleveland, I think the X factor, no doubt about it, is Caris LeVert. You mentioned that he was not good against the Knicks this season shooting the ball. But when you got the core 4 that Cleveland does, you're going to need that 5th guy. If LeVert can just give them 10 plus a game on decent efficiency, that will be massive for them. So we shall see. Interesting coaching matchup too. Thibodeau versus Bickerstaff. I'm very intrigued about their chess game as well.
Yeah, like in the 3 games that LeVert played, 4 games. 4 games, he was 6 of 11, 12, 6 of 16 from 3. What does that come out to?
6 of what?
6 of 16 from 3.
That's just over 30, about 35, I believe.
Yeah, which is below his season average. He was 0 of 4, 0 of 1, 2 of 4, then 4 of 7 from 3 in those games.
Johnson U says Chetty Osman is going to go off. He averaged 8 points a game this season. I don't hate this efficiency. I didn't actually know he was like this.
Yeah, I mean, he hit some shots. I remember last game the Knicks played against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Osman played pretty well. He's shooting that percentage on 4+ threes per night, so not bad efficiency for a role player. But yeah, you can't have freaking Cedi Osman knocking down triples. That's a backbreaker. Sounds like a lot of people are saying R.J. Barrett is the X factor for the Knicks, and I think that is the obvious one. But can he do it? Can R.J. Barrett do it? We're going to learn a lot about RJ here in the next 3 weeks. By May 1st, we will know if RJ Barrett is going to be a Knick next year. If RJ Barrett plays bad, if RJ Barrett is the reason the Knicks lose this series, pack your bags up. We'll send you to Toronto for OG Anunoby. But for me, the two X factors for the Knicks are Emmanuel Quickley and Quentin Grimes. If Quickley can average over 14 points and be good from three, get others involved, do what you do, Quick. If Quick just does what he does, I think the Knicks have the advantage because I believe he's the best bench player on this team in this series by a mile. And then Quentin Grimes, like Rolly said, if Grimes can give you 13, 12, 14 points, shoot 40+% from three, do a good job on Donovan Mitchell, not foul out, not get into early foul trouble. But then you could say Josh Hart. If Josh Hart lights it up, if he plays great, if he's on the floor. What if Mitchell Robinson plays great and shows he's the best center in this series? What if Obi Toppin lights you up from three? What if RJ Barrett plays great? I just think there's more people that can affect the series on the Knicks versus the Cavs. You got the core four for the Cavs. You got Okoro. You got LeVert. The Knicks have 9 players that I think can really change the outcome of this series. Am I being biased? Maybe, but I don't think Rubio's changing it. I don't think Dean Wade. I don't think Chetty Osman. Who's even their backup center?
Robin Lopez is on the team.
I know, but he doesn't play.
I think it.
Do they go small? Mobley and
I think they rotate. I could be wrong, so call me out if you guys know more. But I would be confident to say that they start both of them, and then just they end up rotating throughout the game until late in the fourth, where one of them is the center. They go small with Okoro maybe at the 4. Maybe they put Chetty Osman at the 4 or Dean Wade at the 4. But I'm pretty sure they rotate them too after the starting period and before the closing period.
4 more sleeps. 4 more sleeps. Now 4 more sleeps until the Knicks win game 1 in Quicken Loans Arena. We're going to wrap today's show up with a mailbag. So if you want to be featured on the mailbag, we got some good questions. Any questions came through over there, Rolly?
Yeah, we have enough. I mean, there's always room for more. So
we could use some more juice.
Yeah, if you have any more questions when it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers and New York Knicks first-round playoff series, send them in. I mean, I see some questions that can roll, but listen, never want to have too little. You always want to do more than is necessary.
Yeah, you never want to have just enough. It's always good to have extra, trust me. What
do you mean?
Exactly. If you have a question, go ahead, use hashtag Knicks or Super Chat. If you use hashtag Knicks in the comment section, your question goes into a line, then it's up to Rolly, the jury and the judge right there to pick the questions. And the executioner. If you Super Chat, you're guaranteed to get your question here on the show. We had 1 Super Chat. Actually, none of those. Neither of those.
Yeah, I was going to say both of them don't play.
Both those don't really play. Kamani Lewis, we appreciate the Super Chat. And then Rumple Foreskin told me to go bet on the Cavs. I went and bet on the Knicks. I put 50 on the Knicks to win 87. So that's what I'm rocking with. The Only Basket says, do you think the Knicks can make it to the 3rd round? Appreciate you getting your question in. Hashtag Knicks. David says Kevin Owens, question mark. I don't know what that means. Mikey says RJ needs to attack the hoop, leave the threes to actual three-point shooters. I agree. Just because RJ's open on the three-point line doesn't mean he has to shoot it. Work it, drive it, create for others. Tamar Bowles says, Marshall, what's up, Brody?
The way you just said that about RJ, when it comes to the playoffs, not a lot of open shots are given because of how tight it gets defensively. So if you're wide open from 3, there's a reason for it.
Yeah. All righty. Hashtag Knicks or Super Chat. We're going to get rolling here on this mailbag to close out today's show. Johnson, you ask a real question for me. You know ball. Ask a question for me in the comment section. Johnson, you just use hashtag Knicks. Give me an educated question. You're a trollster, and I love it. But show me you know ball, because I do know that you know ball, but I want to hear a question from you. If you want to get your question into the show, go ahead, use hashtag Knicks or Super Chat. And we could dive into that. OG in there as well. Ronald Johnson says, can the Knicks win 1 or 2 games in the first round playoff without Randle? It's a good question. All righty. Did my audio just go out? No, we're good? All right. It sounded super weird in my ear. All righty. Here we go. Let's get into this mailbag. You are watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports, and we are 2 sleeps away. Thursday night, Friday night, and then it's Knicks Cavs Game 1 tip-off, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We are going to be live on the channel for a watch party, so join us then and sub for dubs. Subscribe to the channel if you want the Knicks to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in round 1 of the playoffs. First question coming in from my guy Oscar Batista. What up, Big O? He says, do you think that iHeart and Mitch will be on the floor together? I would say no, because we haven't seen that often. Really, I don't think I've seen a minute this year. I've watched every game. I can't recall a minute of Isaiah Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson playing together. But the reason I feel like you're asking this question is because we are going against those 2 Twin Towers in Cleveland with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. Maybe if Julius Randle is unable to go, we see some of that. We've seen Tom Thibodeau rely on the Jericho Sims and Isaiah Hartenstein kind of duo together, so maybe we see that. I don't think that is something that would happen. Would I be shocked if it does? No, but I think the way we would see this lineup is if Julius Randle doesn't play early on in the series, the Knicks are kind of getting beasted up on the boards. I think it could be an opportunity, but I'm going to say no, but I would not be shocked if it does actually happen, Oscar. Ronald Johnson coming in with a question. What up, Ronald? He says, can the Knicks win 1 or 2 games in this first playoff series without Randle? You're going to have to. If Randle is unable to go game 1 or game 2, you have to win one of those games in this series. If Randle doesn't play game 1 or game 2, that probably means he's going to play game 3 in Madison Square Garden. They want to give him that extra rest. If you go back to MSG, back to New York, down 0-2, Randle's first game back, that is a whole lot of pressure. The fans will get antsy. The fans will get nervous. And if you fall behind early in that game, game 3, when you're already down 0-2, that could be problems for the New York Knicks. Do I think they can win a game or 2 without Randle? Yes. Do I think they can win a playoff series without Randle against the Cavs? I do not. I think the Knicks, they need Julius Randle. What he does fits the playoffs. He's a tough shot taker. He's a tough shot maker. He can create offense for himself in the half court. And historically, that is what succeeds in the NBA playoffs. Johnson Yu with a $10 super chat. What up, man? Do you think RJ is gone if he underperforms in this series? What are you expecting him to average? Love this channel. Still looking for a one-stop shop for all Knicks content. I appreciate that, Johnson Yu. Do I think RJ is gone? If RJ Barrett plays bad and he is a reason the Knicks lose, and Leon Rose sees that this team can't get to where it wants to be without RJ Barrett, I do think that. Honestly, yes. If the Knicks lose this series, I think it is more likely than not that RJ Barrett is gone. I've said it time and time again. I just wonder long-term about the continuity of the big 3 that we have in Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, and Julius Randle. I don't think RJ is the type of guy you want at that small forward spot with those 2 guys. But he has a chance to prove everybody wrong. What are you expecting him to average? I don't even care about the points per game. RJ Barrett could average 14 points per game for all I care. Can I get better than 48% from the field? Can you make 35% of your threes? It's all about efficiency for me when it comes to RJ Barrett. Hustle on defense. Make your teammates better. You're a big guy, 6'6", 6'7", 225 pounds. Get on the boards. Just play winning basketball. We will know in 3 weeks if RJ Barrett is going to be a Knick next year. If RJ plays good, they win the series. You're good. RJ plays bad, I think it might be the end of the Star J Barrett era for the New York Knicks. And I like this next question because I do believe RJ Barrett is an X factor for the Knicks. So I want to ask you, who is the X factor for the Knicks versus Cleveland in round one? Is it Quickly? Is it Grimes? Is it Julius? Is it Jalen Brunson? Is it RJ Barrett? A lot of answers you could go with. Is it Obi? Let me know. Who is the X factor in your opinion for this series for the Knicks versus the Cavs? William Reed, what's going on, Brody? What do you think the length of the playoff rotation? What do you think the length of the playoff rotation will be? I think it's going to hover around 8 and 9. 8 and 9. I would lean more towards 9, William, because of Randle, missing the last 2 weeks and maybe not being in that elite game shape that he was to start the season. I did believe at one point that if Randle was going to be healthy for the playoffs, that Tibbs would trim his rotation down to 8, and I thought Obi could be that 9th looking in. Because Quickly is going to play off the bench. Hart's going to play off the bench. And Hartenstein is going to play off the bench. And Quickly can play the 1 or the 2. Hart can play the 2, the 3, or the 4. Hartenstein can play the 5. If he had to, he could slide in at the 4 as well. But I think with Randle being a little bit hobbled and a little bit gimpy, I think it'll be 9. Maybe we get a couple Deuce McBride minutes for some defensive energy and some defensive talent, I guess, if you want to be him to go be a pest for a couple of minutes on Garland or Mitchell. But I would stick around 9. I think 9 will be the playoff rotation for William. Steven, my man, what's up, Brody? He said, who needs to have a bigger impact in the playoff, RJ or Grimes? Interesting way to word this question. Who needs to have a bigger impact? How do I want to answer this? Like, for the Knicks to win, who has to play better? Honestly, I don't really think it matters. If one of these guys play great, like if RJ is great, you're probably going to win. If Grimes is great, you have a really, really good shot. But if RJ is bad and Grimes is good, I think you still have a shot. Both are bad, you're cooked. You're cooked. But I'll go RJ. He needs to be better. You know why? Because he's the highest freaking paid player on this team. Earn some cheddar in these next couple of weeks, RJ Barrett, and show everybody that you could actually be the guy that is going to earn $25 to $27 to $100 million over the next 5 seasons. We'll get to more questions coming up here in a quick bit, but the Knicks have released their NBA playoff shirts, and we got them on sale over on our link. Go to chatsports.com/NYK playoffs. That is chatsports.com/NYK playoffs. This link is down in the comments and description of today's show. So scroll on down, click it, and get yourself a shirt today so it could be here for the playoffs. Fabian Williams, what's up, man? He says, do you think Randle is ready, but the Knicks are keeping it quiet so the Cavs game plan for Obi and last minute we announced? That's definitely a possibility, Fabian. 100% a possibility. Kind of like playing poker. No need to show your cards until, the flop and the river card come out. The Knicks don't get any advantage, Fabian, and this is such a good question. They don't get any advantage by saying Randle is going to be ready to go game 1. They also don't get any advantage by saying Randle won't be ready to go game 1. I hope you're right. I hope Randle is ready to go, and they're just keeping it quiet. But to be honest with you, I'm not going to be shocked if Randle doesn't play game 1. Am I going to be sad? Absolutely. Will I be upset? No doubt about it. This is definitely a possibility. Let's hope he plays, though, because I truly believe the Knicks, to win this series, 30 has to show up, and 30's got to be dirty 30. You know what I'm talking about. Allison with a question says, any injuries on the Cavs? The biggest injury for the Cavs is Isaac Okoro. JB Bickerstaff went as far to say that he thinks Isaac Okoro can guard Jalen Brunson. Last time the Knicks played the Cavs, Okoro did not play. Brunson had 48. He was cooking. They couldn't do anything. He was filleting up in Quicken Loans Arena. And then he said, we used that to our advantage. We did a self-scout. He said, but we didn't have a guy like Isaac Okoro. 3rd-year guy, I believe. 3rd or 4th-year guy in the NBA. Solid defender. I wouldn't say he's a great defender by any means. Not a great scorer either. He's okay shooting the ball. Shot about 36, 37% from 3, but only 2 attempts per game. Yeah, that's what I got. Isaac Okoro is someone that's definitely dealing with injuries. I know Jared Allen was dealing with some injuries as well, but I'm expecting him to be out there for sure. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Sub for playoff dubs. We're getting closer and closer to 20,000 subs here on the channel. Just over 250 away from 20,000. 20,000 subs by the playoffs was our goal here on the channel. Help us get there. Let's get the good vibes rolling. Sub for playoff dubs. The only basket with a question, I appreciate you, said, do you think the Knicks are going to make it to the second round? I do. My prediction is Knicks in 6. Mainly because it rhymes, but I do. I think the Knicks are going to win this series. I bet on it. I put $50 on it. $50 to win 87. I think they do. And I think it's going to come down to Emmanuel Quickley, Josh Hart, and Isaiah Hartenstein. If your bench shows, which they are, a much better bench than Cleveland, I think you'll be all right. If Randle plays, you'll be okay. I think Brunson's going to show everybody in the world that he's the best player in this series. I know nobody is in my corner right now saying that, but I was also on a ledge when I told you guys that Jalen Brunson was underpaid when he got signed in free agency. So I'm cool standing on the ledge by myself. I think we're going to see that Jalen Brunson is one of the best point guards in the NBA. He's going to show you that he's clutch, he's tough, he's smart, and the dude just freaking wins basketball games. I got the Knicks in 6, maybe Knicks in 7. OG, my man, what's up, Brody? If Randle misses one game, Marsh, are you still saying Knicks in 6? I'm thinking a tough 7-game series. I'm not going to be shocked if it goes 7, OG. I won't be shocked at all. These teams are close. They're good. Look, who's better? Point guard, Jalen Brunson, Garland. I'll go 1 for the Knicks. Who's better at the 2? Grimes or Mitchell? It's Mitchell. Who's better at the 3? Is it Okoro? Is it Karis LeVert? Is it R.J. Barrett? I'm going to be a homer. I'm going to say R.J. Barrett's better. Who's better, Randle or Mobley? I think Mobley's a better defender, but I think Randle is a better player right now, and I think Jared Allen is better than Mitchell Robinson, but I think the Knicks have a better bench. You're better in 4 spots. 2 spots. 2 spots, I guess. 2 more than them. But you're even. Some people would say Mobley is better. Some people would say LeVert and Okoro are better than R.J. Barrett. If Randle misses 1 game, I think you could still win in 6. He misses any more time than that, I might have to change it to Knicks to 7, though. 100% OG. Mikey, my man, what's up, Brody? Do you think Star J will show up at all in the Cavs series? I'm hoping. I'm praying. If Star J Barrett shows up, if we get the RJ Barrett that we have seen before for the New York Knicks, you can. But he's got to produce. He's got to be efficient. I don't know if I said it in this video, but I don't care about the points per game. I care about the efficiency. I don't want 43% from the field. I don't want 31% from downtown. Give me 15 points on 50% from the deck and 35% from 3, and I think the Knicks can win. Can I get 6-7 rebounds from RJ? Can the assist numbers go up? Can he be a defensive stopper? Can he play good defense? Can RJ Barrett do it? Yes. Will he? I do not have that answer. $2 super chat for my man Johnson. You, what's up, Brody? Would you consider this a successful season if we lose? Am I being a loser if I say yes? Because I do believe this has been a successful season for a multitude of reasons. You got your point guard of the future in Jalen Brunson on one of the best contracts in the NBA. I believe you got your starting 2 guard of the future in Quentin Grimes. Julius Randle bounced back. He's an all-NBA player again. Can he do it next year? That's to be determined. I thought Mitchell Robinson was good this year. He's the best offensive rebounder in the NBA. He's young. Emmanuel Quickley has showed he's going to be one of the best 6 men in this league for a long, long time. You got a great player off the bench in Josh Hart. Obi Toppin showed some stuff when he got some minutes. Isaiah Hartenstein has showed he's a great, dependable backup big. So roster-wise going forward, would consider a success because we still have all the tradable first-round picks we want. We can make moves. Am I going to be disappointed if we lose? Absolutely, I will be disappointed. Knicks get swept, then maybe it's not a successful season. Maybe that's a punch in the mouth and we realize how far we actually are away. But if you're competitive, you win a game or two, you got to go 6. If you lose in 6, yes. I know I said all that, but successful, yes. Disappointing if we lose, also yes. So try to decipher my words and get an answer out of that because I don't even know. Yes. Who you got? Who do you got? Knicks or Cavs? Who do you got? Type NYK for the Knicks, CLE for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section. Who is winning the series and advancing to the Eastern Conference semifinals? Type NYK for the Knicks, CLE if you don't know ball. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's video. This video's going out Thursday night, Friday night. 2 more sleeps until we get to see the Knicks win a playoff game. Hit me up on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. We could talk some hoops over there. It wasn't long. It felt long.
It'd be close to a 15, 16-minute mailbag.
15 minutes sack. Was my answer fair on that last question?
Well, I know a lot of the people in the chat maybe haven't been here for the entire stream, which is fair. And we actually kind of addressed that question earlier in the stream. I said no matter what, it's a successful season and I labeled 2 reasons why. One, you added Jalen Brunson, kind of like you said, and the Knicks have their point guard of the future. And number 2, everyone predicted this team at best would be a play-in team. And you obviously are not only in the play-in, but you won 47 games and you're the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference with players to grow on, Brunson, the whole 9 yards. So I said no matter what, it's a successful season. Now I did add, like Marsh said, if you get swept, there's definitely some dirt in your mouth and you're not really looking forward to the offseason as much as you would be if you showed up in the playoffs. But I think it's a successful season no matter what.
Yeah. That's why I said it's successful, but I'd be disappointed as hell if they got swept. They lose in 5, I'm going to be disappointed. They lose this series, I'm going to be disappointed. But it doesn't take away everything that happened this year. You got your point guard. You got a great 6-man. I believe you got a starting 2 guard in Quentin Grimes for the next 10 years. A lot to build on.
I want to add something before we answer a couple super chats. Oh, excuse me. I am going to be intrigued with Grimes ascending, quickly ascending, Brunson being on that level. Do they believe Grimes can play the 3? Will quickly be okay being a 6th man for the foreseeable future? I mean, you just look down and most of you know I'm a Heat fan. Tyler Hero said, I've done enough in this league to prove I am a starter. Will quickly feel the same way?
It's a great question. Can you sell him on being Manu Ginobili? Can you sell him on that?
Because you don't get paid for being a 6th man. You get paid for being a starting point guard. Just something to keep your eye on as we go this offseason and potentially another.
I'd honestly pay him whatever it takes to keep him because I think he fits the role that we have and the things that he does is what we need. If you play quickly at the 2, though, with Brunson and Grimes, you are small. You got a 6'1" point guard if you want to call Jalen Brunson 6'1".
And that means Barrett would have to go because I don't think they'd feel comfortable playing him at the 4.
Yeah, and he's probably not coming off the bench either.
Yeah.
Quickly, 6'2" guard. He's got like a 6'10" wingspan, but that's a lot to ask out of him. Then you got a 6'5" Grimes playing the 3. That's just you're undersized at that point. Best case scenario, quickly wants to be the next great 6th man in the NBA, right?
It's just something to keep your eye on because obviously he's not up for a contract this offseason. But as the Knicks continue, Leon Rose, to build this Knicks roster for the current, to potentially win now and the future, it's something you're going to have to keep your eye on.
OG says IQ could be Jamal Crawford or Lou Will. Let's go with Manu Ginobili because he actually won a couple titles. How about that? All
right, $5 from Will Lattimore.
My guy, Willie. What up, Will? He said, yo, Marsh, Just ordered my playoff shirt. Let's go. Let's go, Knicks. You know we're here. We're here, baby. We're here.
Be like Will.
Be
Bottom
like
of your
Will.
screen.
Get your
Use
shirt.
that link.
Chatsports.com/NYK playoffs. Get your shirt today. OG said he should get a nice contract. Does 4 for $60 get it done?
Oh, I don't think so.
No?
I think he's going to – that's what you pay a six-man. But I think he's going to view himself as a better player than that, which I think is actually fair.
Does he ask for 5 for 100?
That's more like it. I mean, if he builds – if this –
Johnson, you said it starts with triple digits.
If this next season he builds and has another 15-point-per-game season, a team is going to want to throw the bag at him to be a starting point guard.
Jeffrey Cooperstein just came in the building. Coop.
Johnson, you, what's up?
Johnson, you in the chat as well. Emmanuel quickly comes up to Leon Rose this offseason and says, I want to get paid. What's your offer for him?
For Quickly, 4 years, $60 million.
He will say no.
Does he say no to that?
Yes, I think he does say no.
That's $15 million a year.
I think he says
In
no.
this economy,
Rich Robson.
no chance.
He's trying to feed a family. Shout out to Latrell Sprewell. Rich Rob says 4 for 81. Does he say no to that?
I don't pay backup point guards $20 million.
But here's the thing. I don't think he's a backup point guard.
Are you playing him in Quickly next? Or
No.
Brunson and Quickly.
This is my thing. If you're the Knicks, you do the 4 for 60. But if you're Quickly, you're going to want 4 for 80, 5 for 100.
So then you're walking?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's
Fair
why
enough.
I think the Knicks
I'd
will
pay
have
him.
to have a contingency.
I'd pay him.
You can't pay a backup point guard $20 million.
Why not?
You just
Because.
We're paying Derrick Rose 14 and Evan Fournier 18.
And they'll be gone.
That's 32 mil coming off the fucking pine.
You can use that. You can better allocate those resources. Go get OG.
No.
You just can't.
I'm not trading quick.
$20 million a year for a six-man is kind of wild.
What if he's the best in the league? What if he plays starter minutes? The guy played 29 minutes this year.
If Quickly,
That was my argument for the Tyler
if he
Hero
becomes
bullshit
Jordan
last year,
Clarkson,
too.
you can do it.
Oh, he's already better than Clarkson.
Clarkson last year was dirty, man.
He was trash.
2 years
this
ago
year.
was it? Wait, 2 years ago was a six-man year, right?
Yeah.
Because I know last year was Mr. Tyler.
I know he averaged 21. He started this year though, all 61 games.
Yeah, he was the starter this year.
I would do it because you're not getting better by letting him leave, and it's Dolan's money, and the Knicks are already over the tax and the free agent, or the.
Because they stole Brunson or what?
You guys gave him to us on a interest-free loan.
Silver platter.
100 mil for Quickly's a lot.
5 for 100.
But that's what a starting
What's
point
the
guard.
difference between 5 for 100 and 4 for 80? Nothing.
This
It's a lot.
year.
20's a lot.
But here, that's what a starting point guard who averages 15, 16 points per game in this league gets paid.
Oh,
and that's
absolutely.
why I think Quickly will come to them and say, you have to pay me this to keep me here as a sixth man
Where I'm going.
because I want to be a starter.
Yeah.
And that's what I brought up to the people and to Marsh here. It's like, I don't think he's going to be on the Knicks for too much longer.
Yeah.
Cap. He's a Knick.
Is he a restricted free agent?
This is his third year.
I think he's got one more year, right?
Yeah, one more year under
But that's what
cost
I mean,
controlled.
it's not that far away. You got to start thinking of how you're going to potentially pay
You
him.
want to get a deal done this offseason before
Yeah,
he blows up and has another great year.
Ideally, you'd like a deal this offseason.
4 for 80, sign it, and let's fucking go.
I wouldn't do it.
That's Cap, dude. He's worth it.
It just will be tough to pay Randle, Barrett.
Barrett's gone.
Yeah,
Barrett
Barrett's
does
gone.
have to be
Barrett's
gone.
gone.
But just as the roster would currently sit, if you pay Quickly that, Quickly, Brunson, Randle, Barrett, all making 20+ mil a year, that's tough.
That's why they get paid the tough bucks.
Yeah,
That's why
exactly.
they get paid the tough bucks. Johnson, you, my man, with a $2 super chat. Would you pick up the balding man?
Talking about Trae Young in your profile picture, or are you talking about LeBron James?
Do I want Trae Young? No.
Speaking of Trae Young, we're going to be live for a little bit longer. I might have to toss that game on.
Yeah. What? We'll probably sign off here in a sec. No, I don't want Trae Young. I do not want Trae Young. Not at all. Not at all. No. Why would I want Trae Young? Brunson's better, and I got Quickly.
Yeah,
CPJ says they can keep Trae Young. Absolutely.
Trae Young is
CPJ.
such an interesting player because he's good. I just don't think he's a winning player. And I know he made it conference finals already, but I just don't think he's that good.
What if Boston comes up to you and says, give us Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, and 3 unprotected first-round picks? Do you do it?
For
Jaylen
Jaylen Brown, send it in. Brown is him, dude. JB, and RJ, or excuse me, Randle. Oh my God. Brown is giving you 27 a game on incredible efficiency. Brunson's going to give you his 23 and 8. And then Randle can go do whatever the fuck he wants for 20 points per game and 10 rebounds. Jaylen Brown would be your leading scorer.
The person I don't want to give up in that trade is Quickly. Robinson can go, and so can
But then
Barrett.
you have Grimes taking over that 6-man role.
No, he'd be your 2.
And have JB at the 3. I think a better team construction would have a 3-and-D wing, have Grimes come off the bench, and have JB as your 2.
Well, if you know where they're growing those 3-and-D wings, let me know.
That's why you got all those other picks.
Rich Rob says, make the deal.
Yeah, send it in.
You are making that deal. You've told me time and time again, RJ Barrett is him. Come on, Rich.
Send it in.
RJ, Quickly, Mitchell Robinson, 3 unprotected first-round picks.
Well, they wouldn't all be unprotected. There'd be some protections.
I think they want 3 unprotected. They got 3 unprotected for DeJounte Murray.
They could be lottery protected, and you're still going to get them.
He said RJ is going to pop. Yes, you have.
Yeah, he's not for sale, Sinester. Or Sinetter.
Rich says that it's a little steep. It is. I don't know. Oh.
I don't think it is steep, though, dude. For a 26, 27-year-old pure bucket who is always
CPJ
won.
says send it?
Send it in. Send it in. I think this is one where if you get Boston to agree to that,
I think that's a good
sprint
offer.
to Adam Silver and say, here's the card, announce it.
Does Boston just for sure say no?
Oh, yeah.
Even if Brown makes it clear he wants out?
Oh,
I
I
think
mean,
that's a good offer.
If Brown says, I don't want to be in Boston anymore, trade me now, I think they would consider it.
You're getting a good center, one that you don't have. I know everyone wants to talk about Robert Williams. He's more hurt than healthy.
You know what's crazy?
You get RJ, a 20-point scorer at 22 years old, and you get Quickly, who's the best 6-man in the league, who could probably be your starting point guard. You could have a
Next to
backcourt
Smart?
of
Yeah.
him and Smart with Tatum at the 3.
I got to be honest. This might be a hot take.
You get what RJ is going to be with Brown. RJ
Stop
Barrett will
it.
never be Jaylen Brown.
Also, I don't think they would want RJ Barrett. I mean, he would be in the trade, but I don't think RJ fits with Tatum. It doesn't make any sense. Barrett can't shoot.
You need someone that can drive, though. I mean, guy averages 20 at fucking 22, 2 years in a row. 43%'s not bad. It's not great. Will says not doing this deal. The only thing that's holding me up there is Quickly, but I'd probably do it too, to be honest.
I mean, and here's my thing. Quickly's great, right? But we just talked about he's a 6-man. Is a 6-man really holding up a deal for a 27-year-old perennial All-NBA guy? Come on. I am all in on Jaylen Brown.
Grimstad is in the chat. He says, I'm not trading IQ.
But here's the thing. If he has no pathway to be in the starting lineup, then why not ship him off for an All-NBA guy? Like, we love Quickly. Quickly's a great player. Will he ever amount to Jaylen Brown? No. So
Johnson U says, RJ, Evan, Mitch, and Deuce, and 4 unprotected. Boston hangs up.
Yeah, they would hang
Boston
up.
hangs up.
They would hang up after Evan.
Yeah. CPJ, why are you doing this, CPJ?
Why are you face planting?
Why are you doing this?
Face palming, I should say.
What if Boston wants Grimes instead of RJ? Probably will, but you're going to have to put someone in that deal to match that salary. Going to have to put someone in that deal to match that salary. All righty, we're going to sign off here on the channel. We've been live for an hour and 40 minutes. Just wanted to pop on here before we go live on Saturday and talk some shop. Marcus says, what about that package for Embiid? I'd rather trade for Brown than Embiid. I don't know if that puts me in the minority with that, but that's just me. I think Embiid's the best center in the league, but the injuries are definitely concerning for me. All righty. We're going to sign off. We'll be live on the channel on Saturday. We got videos coming out every day. Until then, let's go Knicks.